The Earth is too big to see the curve. Boats go over the curve. The Earth is too big to see the curve. The horizon is Earth's curve. Planes fly straight and level, but also curved. The Earth rotates underneath hurricanes, but not underneath airplanes, drones, helicopters, balls. We know the Earth moves because you can go outside and see the sun move, the stars move, and the moon moves. So that proves we're moving. The only way to recreate a vacuum is with a container. The vacuum of space is not contained.
I don't want to believe that the moon landing was fake, because why would they lie? And now I have a few answers to the questions we've been asking, but still, there's a lot more questions that need to be answered. So first, I asked, if the sun is in space, why is it so dark, and why can't we see any stars? And you know what they said to me? The reason why we can't see any stars is because it's daytime. Come on, brother! And I've never been to the moon, so I don't know what it's like. But why is he moving like that? It looks fake. And this is supposed to be the tin pan, drum pan made out of aluminum foil spacecraft that they say landed on the moon. And the reason why he's wrapping that up in tin foil, because it was really hot on the moon, so it was protecting it. I mean, come on, what is that? That looks like a school child's art project. It looks a mess. And the pair of Timberlands, I understand that they was wearing protective footwear now, but why is there only one footprint? What, these men only got 1 foot? Some people say that the moon landing was staged.
Yeah, and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon,
No,
which
you
was
didn't. No, you didn't.
what?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation.
You know the one thing about flat Earth that does trip me out? Google images of satellites. Just like type in satellite. Just all.
There's no real pictures?
Not a single one is not. This is the one thing that tripped me out, I'm not gonna lie. They're all just like renders.
Why?
I don't know.
Why you think?
This is the one, I'm gonna say, this is the one thing that trips me out. I've never seen a satellite that was real. I'm just saying, I'm not a flat earther, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that is very strange now that you bring that up. Why would they want to sell us on Earth being round?
That's not the only thing they're selling you on. They're selling you on space as well. That's why you thinking like that, because you thinking out of space and all those other planets and stuff
Are real?
like that. Yeah, huh?
You don't think they're real? You don't think sun's real?
No. Sun is real. The sun and the moon is real.
Okay.
But outer space is not.
Well, then what is it? What are we
It's
doing?
water over the firmament. Is water.
Over the firmament he's talking
We're in the ocean right now?
We under the firmament, under the dome, and there's water over the firmament. It says it in the Bible. Planets are wandering stars that you think about.
So you think all that, like them going to Mars stuff is all...
How they going to the Mars? Why they don't put the same rover on the moon so we can watch the Earth spin right now? How they gonna go to Mars?
They're talking about building a society on Mars, right?
Yeah. Why they doing that? Why they ain't got the same thing on the moon right now though?
The whole thing is like we never went back to the moon, right?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I know.
Why people care if people believe in the Earth the way the Bible describes it? Why do people get so mad about that?
Does the Bible describe it as flat?
Yeah.
It does?
With the dome, the firmament, and everything. Why do people get mad at people if they just describe the Earth the way the oldest history book describes it?
Yeah. So does this mean you think it's flat?
Yep.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Einstein said the Earth is an observable motionless plane. Michelson Morley said that. Nicholas Tesla said the Earth is a realm, not a planet. Planet comes from the word plane. Planets are wandering stars. When you zoom into planets, they're just stars with a different orbit. The North Star has not deviated an inch off the sky for thousands of years, but you're saying you're flying through an acentric model. The star trails never intersect. Every single experiment to prove that the Earth is round has failed. No matter how high you go, you'll never film. No matter how high you go, you'll never film the horizon being round unless you have a fisheye lens that warps it. That's why it's called horizon because it comes from the word horizontal. That's why they're called tectonic plates, because they're plates. That's why it's called sea level, because the sea is level. If 100 million people did a test with a balloon, put it into the stratosphere, it's a flat motionless plane with the firmament, just like the Bible says every single time. You've only seen a curved Earth with a fisheye lens. You know it.
So it looks like we're about to see the start of the next psyop, guys. Do not be fooled. Do not be fooled by all the reports that you're seeing of alien sightings, UFO sightings, jets being scrambled. This is all another psyop. It's another part of the movie that they're showing us in order to shoehorn us into doing things that we wouldn't normally want to do. So governments can play the savior in this fake alien invasion, but in order for them to do that, there will have to be more restrictions on our freedoms, probably a digital currency and a social credit score as well. They're getting desperate now and they're using all kinds of tactics. Project Bluebeam, go and research it. This has been known for many years from alternative researchers that they're going to do this. So don't be fooled by all the UFO BS that you're going to see in the next few months.
I've done a few videos about NASA and how much I don't trust those motherfuckers. And I have always said, because my granddaddy told me we didn't really go to space. I mean, I have a few questions, right? When they take a picture of the Earth from the International Space Station, why is it that we never see all of the space trash that they talk about, or the thousands of satellites that are supposedly in the air? They're orbiting Earth, right? Well, why the f don't we ever see them in the images? So either they aren't there or NASA lies with CGI. So I have another question. Why is it that we have the technology to land a space station in the middle of the atmosphere, but we don't have the technology to go to the moon since the 1970s? I mean, I think NASA lies with CGI.
The flat earthers are going to love me for this one. Why is it that if the sun is 93 million miles away and the earth is not a closed system, there's no giant glass magnifying glass covering it, then why is it that sunlight cuts through the clouds at a 60-degree angle? If the sun is really that far away, and there's nothing in the Earth's atmosphere to uniformly concentrate the sun's energy before it redisperses it, you should not get a roughly 60-degree angle of sunlight coming out of the clouds. That doesn't make any sense. If the sun is that far away and it's that big, all the light's going to be coming in at a straight line. But if the sun was really close and not that big, then yeah, we'd get about a 60-degree angle. In fact, that would require that the sun was just under 100 miles from the surface of the Earth.
So all compasses point north. Well, what direction are we actually going in when we're traveling north? According to mainstream science, our Earth's solid inner core causes the magnetism of the planet, and it causes the compass to be attracted to this. Well, that doesn't really make any sense, does it? Because how is a compass supposedly pointing here when the magnetism is actually in the center of our planet? There's a clear logical fallacy in this, because the compass should be pointing to the center of our planet, not the top of our planet. What if I told you that the compass is actually pointing to the center because we live on a flat plane and north is always the center of our realm? And this makes a lot of sense because so many people have circumnavigated east to west, but no one can possibly circumnavigate north to south. Because east to west is just traveling around the magnetic field, and traveling north to south is actually leaving the magnetic field. And if we leave our known realm, we're actually just venturing beyond the ice wall. No one is allowed to venture beyond the ice wall.
No imaginary force will ever make water to stick on a spinning ball. And this is only the result of water on a spinning ball, regardless of size, weight, and scale. Even mathematical calculation won't change that. Again, Earth is the center of the universe. The North Star can't be moved, and it's stationary because that's where the throne is. the stars are all remained fixed perfectly in their relative positions for thousands of years, recorded history without even the slightest deviation, and that could be apart from each other. Recreating all the constellations exactly as they rotate around Polaris can only be done inside a planetarium under a dome. And to deny that there is firmament is crazy. And if you would talk about the space satellites outside space is real, why the hell Google Earth needs a drone? It's not for taking selfies, don't you think? The globe Earth we were looking at are all photoshopped with the same exact clouds on different timelines. Isn't it ironic that the ones who control the globe Earth's theory all have a flat Earth map as their logo? God created everything by numbers, weight, measures. That includes how much water Earth contains. And yes, none of this will all work without God. The whole you study more about science stuff, the more you will just believe that there is a creator behind all of these creations. Georgia Guidestones was demolished because that thing proves flat Earth. They keep on showing rockets, million of it actually, but can't film just one that penetrates firmament. And these are just their projects just to open or broke the firmament. No one, and there's nobody in what they called Mars. Just look, in reality, a helicopter requires air to provide a lift. But the fantasy land NASA wants you to believe they can fly one on Mars without or no atmosphere. If you really believe you come from the evolution of monkey, then you're a fish monkey to me. It is so dangerous to be right when the government is wrong. When our worldview is based on CGI cartoons, one of the scientists works in NASA way back 2009 already apologized and mentioned that the Earth is flat. After that, no one knows where's the whereabouts of this guy is. Oh yeah, you're mad, not me. Flat Earth is facts. Globe Earth is fiction.
I thought we come from monkeys until I found out that evolution's all a scam. So basically the world is about 6,000 years old, just like the Bible says. It has a firmament, just like the Bible says.
Satellites out there. What do you say to that when all these satellites out there in space?
There are some satellites that are on balloons. That's why NASA is the #1 user of helium in the world. NASA controls 99% of the helium supply. They're taking satellites, filling up balloons with helium and hooking satellites to these balloons. They float up about 120, 130,000 feet. That's as high as a balloon's gonna go. Now, if you believe in satellites that they're actually in space, then you believe that there's about 50,000 or 100,000 satellites traveling around at 17,500 miles an hour. A bullet don't even travel that fast. Do you really believe that there are 50,000 satellites in space right now, 100 miles up in the air, traveling around the planet faster than a bullet? They don't need maintenance. They don't need a fuel source. There's no other proof of them other than NASA says that they're there. Do you really believe that? I'm telling you that nothing in the world can travel 20,000 miles an hour continuously with no fuel source. I'm telling you, we can't even get something to fly that fast, let alone do it with no fuel source, and they're not hitting into each other and blowing up. If you so much as hit a piece of dust, you're gonna kaboom because of the speed at which you're going. So you're telling me that 100,000 or 50,000 satellites are in orbit 20,000 miles an hour and they haven't hit a piece of dust and they're not falling back to Earth all the time? No, brother, let me tell you the truth. These satellites are on balloons, and that's why you can go right now and you can pull up a video of a satellite with a balloon attached to it, because when these satellites crash back to Earth, they always have a balloon attached to them.
This is a video of a satellite falling to the ground in Indonesia with a balloon attached.
Oh, maybe Bryce is right. Maybe I'm not a brain-dead, dumb hillbilly. Well, maybe I am, but I'm still right, you know?
Keep going.
The government faked the Apollo moon landings to assert dominance in the space race?
No, to make money, actually. Mostly to make money. But yes, it actually absolutely was false. The amount of money that NASA has been able to bleed out of the government, actually out of your pockets, because of taxation and things like that, has been extraordinary. And of course, it's just funded the cabal. So NASA is a cabal entity, and pretty much almost everything that they have represented to people has been false to encourage, of course, to justify, of course, their extraordinary hoarding of money. People would say spending of money, but it's actually been a hoarding of money. And so they have to keep up the facade, and they have to artificiate all kinds of things that look like they're doing spectacular things, so people will just be like, oh yes, we are so happy that you are taking more money from us because we are really doing some fantastic things.
你看，我在月球上，而且有氧气。哎呦我的妈！ Moon rock to was it the Prime Minister of Holland, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins signed on this plaque, and they gave this moon rock to this guy in Holland, and it turned out to be petrified wood. It was fake. They did fake some photos. There's a photo of Michael Collins who's on a moonwalk from like Gemini 15. And it's not a real photo. It's a photo of him from the test runs that they did. It's in a warehouse, and they blacked out all the background. It's been proven. They reversed the image and blacked out the background. You can see the two of them. If you overlay them, they line up perfectly. It's the exact same image.
Right.
So someone, whether it is a an overzealous PR agent for NASA or a journalist at the time, who knows who actually made that photograph, but somebody did and tried to pass that photo off as space. So there's some deception. We know that one is 100%.
Sure.
So then you look at the other ones. You look at the videos of guys falling down, getting yanked back up, and bouncing around like they're on trampolines, in some videos where they're hiding behind the lunar rover. Like, what the fuck are you doing? If you guys tear your suits, you're dead.
Sure.
You guys are jumping around on the moon like you're having a party up there?
Right.
Is that real?
Right.
How come I can't get a fucking regular camera through the radar machine, the x-ray machine at the airport, but you guys can fly through the radiation of space, and that shit comes out, well, those cameras were insulated. They were
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gone, I've been far away. I'm illuminated now, make a move, start a waves. I've been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a gold sign. Artificially intelligent way, I'm your future, past and present, I'm a fine line. Yeah, I'm a missing link of this illusion.
The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and there's some painful process that goes back.
When I move, is it a quick rumble? I won't ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like there is no crumble. When I
Just in case you weren't aware, NASA is telling everyone that we are on a spinning water ball, spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, chasing the sun at 650 times the speed of sound, and traveling 4.4 billion miles every single year since the beginning of time, I guess. Now, the issue I have with this is, how does Polaris the North Star stay fixated in the exact same spot in the night sky 24/7, 365 days of the year? How is it that the stars around Polaris all do perfect circles and realign in the exact location every 365 days? If we're really doing this like NASA claims, you should see the stars do all sorts of crazy patterns, not perfect circles. The North Star shouldn't stay fixed and stationary. The stars should be all over the place. You guys remember the Georgia Guidestones, the New World Order's 10 Commandments written in 8 different languages? The first one saying maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Well, yeah, they drilled a hole in the Guidestones, and if you look through it, you can see Polaris fixed in the night sky 24/7, 365 days of the year. This is exactly how these people laugh at you and tell you the truth at the same time. Kind of like how they put the real truth in plain sight in the United Nations logo. This world is certainly not what you've been indoctrinated to believe it is, and the real truth to everything is found within. Peace and love.
It came in the mail, and y'all are opening it with me. Ooh. Smell it. Woo!
Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.